Who else other than Moff Gideon could be after Baby Yoda? After all, remember in Season 1, IG-11 was sent to destroy Baby Yoda, unlike the Mandalorian who was to retrieve Baby Yoda alive if possible. Well, I have a pretty epic theory on this today, but first I want to share your amazing community thoughts that you left on the community tab. So let's get right into it. And first up here we have Mary first, and she states, I think the Hutts might have been holding the child at the compound when Din and IG-11 got to him. They'd have the resources to hire the mercenaries, and even if this isn't connected to who had the child in their possession, there are lots of hints throughout the season relating to Hutts and or Tatooine. Yeah, Jabba's out of the picture, but somebody could have inherited his palace, maybe his son that Ahsoka and Anakin rescued all those years ago, little Stinky all grown up. And this is a great point, Mary. In Season 1, the Mandalorian stole the child from someone for Moff Gideon, and whoever he stole it from is most likely going to be hunting him down as well as Moff Gideon. That is an angle I hadn't really thought of, and I think I'll be doing another video on it as well, so thank you for that, Mary. But let's move on. Daniel Foster says, the Sith Eternal. That baby could heal or fix Palpatine's rotting clone body. Absolutely, there could be some way that Baby Yoda's life force could be extracted from him and given to Palpatine, though I'm not sure if Favreau and Filoni would head in that direction. But nonetheless, it is an interesting bit of speculation, thank you. But let's move on to our next commenter here, Jay Mikowski. He states, Boba Fett would want to reclaim his name after his embarrassing defeat in Return of the Jedi. Hunting down the child might be the highest paid job in the galaxy to help him reclaim that name. And Din is the only avenue for him to capture the child. I really like this theorizing, Jay, and I want to connect it to one of the earlier things that Mary mentioned about the Hutts. What if Boba Fett is back working with the Hutts and he's actually hunting down Din Djarin and the child for the Hutts? Wouldn't that be interesting? Let's move on to another one here. We have the Medieval Man 9, and he gave us several options. I'm going to go with some that we haven't seen so far. The first one being the Black Sun or another syndicate. He states the fall of the Empire and the rise of the New Republic would be the perfect opportunity for a major crime syndicate to amass a great deal of power and influence. And what more power could they possibly get than have their own pet Force user who is as powerful as a famed Jedi of old? And that's a really interesting point, and certainly it would be a long-term investment. Like that Baby Yoda, he's not grown very fast. For the Black Sun or any other syndicate to make that sort of investment, it's certainly something that's long-term. But Medieval Man 9 had other ideas, as I suggested earlier, and he also said another Imperial Remnant faction. This is by far the most likely answer. Moff Gideon was already a fairly credible threat to not just the New Republic, but also any and all other Moffs or warlords around. Just by his ability to consult and control the Imperial forces under his command and turn them into a well-disciplined force. If he was able to get his hands on a being like Baby Yoda, he would potentially be unstoppable and the only real Moff in a position to take charge of every other Imperial remnant. This is definitely something the other Moffs and warlords would find unacceptable, and they would pull out all the stops to take Baby Yoda for themselves or kill him should capture be impossible. And Medieval Man 9, I think you're right here. I think this is one of the most likely choices, that it is another Imperial remnant. I mean, the Star Wars galaxy is a big place. There's going to be several of those warlords in the Outer Rim. There's tons of Imperial technology still floating around, no doubt. This whole idea of a second warlord, wouldn't it be interesting if at the end of this season, Din Djarin is facing off against Moff Gideon, and instead of, Ahsoka showing up to save him, or bo-katan or someone like that, Boba Fett, imagine seeing another Imperial remnant showing up and taking down Moff Gideon and his stormtroopers. I think that could make for a really interesting and surprising end to the season. That all said, let's move on to another Medieval Man theory he put forth on the community tab. And this is going to dovetail into my theory I mentioned at the beginning of the video. He states, the Chiss ascendancy. The Chiss would definitely be interested in powerful Force users like Baby Yoda to help them against the Grisk, as well as improve their navigation in Chiss space. They would most certainly want to grab Baby Yoda for themselves, but if they couldn't, I don't really see them as wanting to kill him just to keep him from others. And this is a really interesting theory, Medieval Man, as well as your other ones. I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to say that Thrawn might be the one to show up at the end of the season and defeat Moff Gideon, capturing Baby Yoda. Wouldn't it be interesting if Thrawn had been in contact with Moff Gideon and other Imperial remnants, and an attempt to fight off the Grisk. And of course, Baby Yoda could be used as an asset by Thrawn. You've already done a good job of outlining why, but there's also the fact that Ezra Bridger could be with Thrawn, and Ezra could be one of the people that helps train Baby Yoda himself. Now, like Medieval Man mentioned in his comment, I don't think this is very likely, but hey, there have been rumors about a Thrawn and Ezra live action show. There have been rumors about Thrawn and Ezra being cast in live action, so I suppose there's always a chance that this could indeed happen. But hey, Star Wars fans, I just want to say thank you so much for contributing your thoughts. I found it very refreshing hearing these different ideas. It's been far too long since I did a community video, and I'll be doing more. As always, I'm Mike, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.